Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. This is Dave McLaughlin. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn. I have the honor of being on the board of directors. And today we have a super special guest from Community Health Alliance. And I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, how you doing, fellas? My name's, of course, Oscar Delgado from Community Health Alliance, CEO. I'm blessed to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We really appreciate it, and this is all about community. And that's in your guys' name. There you go.
That's it. That's it. You get it.
I just want to say it says a lot about a leader that you take the time out of your night to come out and do this outreach. So thank you.
I appreciate that, Chaz. I'm just lucky to be here. I saw a few guys' videos. You guys do tremendous outreach. But first and foremost, thank you for the work that you guys do here. It was awesome just walking through the store, seeing the different customers that were out there looking for goods, and it's awesome that you guys do the work you do. Awesome.
Thank you, brother. If you're new or newish to the podcast, we always go over community events that are happening, and then at the end we talk about a community resource in the area. And so we're going to talk about 3 events, and this is all about community support. So always and forever, Chaz says this tagline right here.
Our cheesy tagline, but be the change that you want to see in the world. And it's just so true, to walk your talk and just be that example.
Yeah, and so this actually started all because Chaz and I were doing a video promo for Circle of Life Community Hospice and Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, and we were talking about ways we can partner in the community, and it really came down to just having conversations with people. Like, that's the reality. Yeah. If we're able to have these real conversation, that's what matters, right?
Right, absolutely.
So we're going to dive into events in a minute, but if you're listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else, just a reminder, you can see us live on Facebook. Majority of our listeners actually listen after the fact. They don't listen during. Some do, and thank you for listening right now. We appreciate it. But the majority actually listens afterwards. And so it's fun to kind of see those numbers. This is episode 16, so there's not been a whole lot of podcasts yet. Yeah. And it's just been a joy to see people being involved and commenting and being a part of what we're doing, because we're just a small nonprofit trying to make a difference in the community.
I love it.
What's really growing, actually, we've been climbing the charts on, was it Apple?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Apple
on the
Podcasts, yeah. So
yeah.
Thank you guys. And even if you can't give back, just volunteering your time or sharing this podcast, it all makes a difference. So thank you for your support.
Absolutely. So we're going to start by talking about 3 events in the community. And the 3 big events that we want to highlight. The first one is A Winter Wonderful of Sparkling Lights. It's 39 North Pole Village on Victorian Square. I don't know if did you go to it last year?
I did. It was really, really cool.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
They do such a good job in Sparks. I mean, props to the city. I mean, they do such a good job with that event. My kids loved it when I was able to take them out.
Yeah, you took them out last year?
Yeah, or probably the year before.
Okay.
But it was tons of fun.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Craft fair vendors and treats. And does our buddy Brighton do that? Okay.
No, I think it's just Victorian. No, Brighton, who was on the podcast a few weeks ago, he is awesome. We really appreciate him. Invited us to the Reno City tree lighting.
That was awesome.
That was so fun to be able to be there and be a part of the festivities. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful event. Were you able to make it down?
I didn't make it. I've been there a few different times.
I'm sure.
But they do. Yeah, it's gorgeous in the way they light the trees, and the public works folks that do all the lighting. It's a gorgeous thing to have downtown.
Right. Yeah. And this year was different because they asked Great American Craft Fair to take it over.
Wow.
And Brighton, our friend, took it over, and he was down there, and it felt all local vendors and stuff.
They had lowriders and Escalades all decked out.
It was
so
fun.
They had the Grinch. That was cool.
Yeah.
I missed out.
Yeah, we met Santa Claus. He came to our booth.
Yeah.
Said hi to us.
Food trucks.
Yeah, food trucks.
Cool. Next year, definitely. It's a definite thing.
I hear a rumor that Santa Claus might be on a future episode of Community Cares Podcast.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. It's gonna be awesome.
That should be fun. But yeah, it's definitely the Christmas season. Thanksgiving's over, and everything's Christmas. What do you remember your favorite gift you've ever gotten for Christmas?
Ooh, man. When I was a kid, I used to want to be like a cowboy,
Okay.
And my mom got me this little cowboy suit with hat, and I loved that. That was a lot of fun.
My favorite was probably my N64. I absolutely loved that as a kid. That was
Some
a lot of fun.
007.
Yeah, a little 007. Do you remember a
awesome.
favorite gift or anything?
Then we had got a shared gift like that old school Sega.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I had 3 brothers, and so we just nonstop, Sonic the Hedgehog and all that. Mortal Kombat, that was on. Yeah, so much fun.
Have you been to Capping Games over here?
No.
They have a bunch of retro games like Sega and Atari and all the different ones, right? And so my wife has, because she remembers that she loved Sega as a kid.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, we got to go there." So we've started like collecting old Sega Genesis
way.
games.
That's awesome.
So
retro.
whenever we're bored, we go over to Capping Games, and then we just go get a new game.
There you go. There
We
you go.
really like the Mickey Mouse. I think it's Castle of Illusion. That one was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Got me reminiscing, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Sonic the Hedgehog though, huh?
Sonic, yeah,
Classic.
Mortal Kombat, all the old school games. But just driving back here, in the sense where I grew up right down the street on Greenbrae, and
Oh, wow.
so even just coming back to you guys' studio, it really quickly threw me back to when I was just riding my bike up the street to Burgess Park, and I pop
Yeah.
order football, right? I mean, that's I was
yeah.
on the Lions in 3rd grade, just showing up in my gear. Riding down the street and running to the 7-Eleven, grabbing a quick Gatorade.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the old
That's
neighborhood,
awesome.
man. The church right here was the old dollar theaters, and so
That's
it was
right.
That's
just,
right.
Yeah.
going there, just stepping on the sticky floors as you made your way down to finding a seat. I love it, man. It's old school. I thanks for inviting me again.
Oh yeah, no, we are thrilled to have you here, and I mean, so I spent a little bit of time here as a kid around this area, not a lot. I mostly stayed in Reno, but because I grew up in that in kind of old Midtown area, and so but here they have some great stuff going on, like some great local restaurants now. Capping Games is over here. It's like over by the Scalaries right there. And my wife and I actually just got are renting a house 2 blocks that way now, and we love this neighborhood.
Yeah.
We love it.
This is the Tacazo that used to be, was it Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid growing up, my buddy now is one of the owners. But I mean, it just takes me back and missed out on it was Pizza Baron, I think. That was the pizza shop right here. That's now, it looked like they just demolished it.
Oh,
And
really?
then it was like that Subway after that.
Oh, yeah.
But that was, but yeah, I mean, great. Talk about a great local feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
such a great community and families. My aunt and uncle still live right down the street, but it's just, this is home. This is home away from home.
Oh, I feel you. And we've loved it since we moved over here. So
Awesome.
absolutely.
I
loved
did
it.
want to give a shout out. Speaking of the good old times, we got notified actually tonight that one of our past board members, Barbara Reese, has actually passed away, and she was a great volunteer and gave many years. So we just want to just give our condolences to the family and thank you for her years of service. And we look forward to hopefully being able to show up at her memorial and just celebrate her life. So thank you guys.
Rob McLaughlin says, "Yep, Mario Kart and Fighting one." So the Fighting one on N64, and then also he was a Steinway kid, so he grew up in this neighborhood too.
Right on.
So this area.
Donald Abbott's happy talking about Sparks High.
Oh, I know. He's always Mr. Sparks.
So he actually watches. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, he
That was a good guy. Man.
he helps Good Shepherd a lot, so
Yeah.
he's a good guy. He's been in here. We've had coffee, and but it's definitely got a great local feel around here, and I really love seeing the younger families moving into these neighborhoods because there's a lot. I mean, I know for my wife and I, when on Halloween, we had a bunch of trick-or-treaters come, and we go a little crazy on Halloween, okay?
Your house was the house to go visit. Then. Yeah.
We had animatronics, a big pirate ship. Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
huge Disney fan.
Very
Huge
cool.
Disney fan. I love just having fun like that. So,
Very
Wars.
cool. Make it fun for everybody. I love houses that can just go all out and make it fun for everyone, man. That's fun.
Well,
Thanks for doing that.
next,
That's
I
cool.
mean, next year I'm thinking maybe a haunted house for us. I don't
There you
know.
go.
That'd be a good fundraiser.
That'd be
you
fun.
go.
Oh,
That'd be fun. But so yeah, there's a lot of fun things happening in the community. Definitely go down to Victorian Square over the weekend. I mean, 39 North Pole Village is going to be a fun fun event, and it'll be going on from November 30th to December 2nd, and it's free, guys. And that's one of the things we want to highlight as much as possible. We don't always highlight just the free events, but we try as much as possible to highlight the free events, right? So that's what really matters. Is it free to the community? Is it something that we can all get behind? Because it's so easy to just sit there and do nothing. That's the easy thing.
It's tough times out there. So for family events, to be able to go for free and be able to enjoy time with your family, it's important.
And I know for me, if I had all the free time in the world, I might just sit around and do nothing. I probably wouldn't, knowing myself honestly, but
I don't think that would last.
well, I mean, during COVID, I did for like the first 2 days, I think. And I was like, oh, I got to do something. I started recording music and video and all sorts of stuff. I went crazy. But we're not meant to just sit around and do nothing. That's the reality of it.
Yeah. Get the itch. You got to do something.
We got to be in community. We got to be together with around people, right?
Sure.
Even if it's just sitting in a coffee shop. I tell Chaz this, and maybe I'm telling on myself because he's a board member. But sometimes I'll just sit at Coffee and Comics and just work from there and write whatever I'm writing or do whatever I'm doing.
Some of the best networking possible, man.
Yeah.
Being out in the community and, having some good coffee.
It's about being with people, right? I think that really matters.
That's Oscar and I's favorite breakfast. Coffee. Breakfast of champions.
Coffee's not a breakfast, guys. If I don't have a real breakfast, I will be grumpy.
Yeah.
Well, you can ask Nika if you'd like, my wife.
I'll take her word for it.
So another event we wanted to highlight is actually one from one of our partners at Silver Summit Health Plan. They're going to be doing on at the North Valleys Resource Center, which is at O'Brien Middle School, is going to be a free community baby shower event. And that is at 5000 Silver Lake Road, Reno, Nevada, out in the North Valleys in the Stead area.
That's awesome. We just had Jesse. Was it Jesse Sanchez?
This is her event
from the family, the resource center out there, and that's located inside O'Brien. And a fun fact that she mentioned last week: you don't have to be a student to take advantage of that. So even if you're a senior and you need some support, they'll do their best to be able to find you those resources. So that's great.
Oh, it's huge to be a part of that. And then the last thing I wanted to highlight is the ski resorts are open, and that's an event. It should be an event itself. Are you a skier or snowboarder?
I'm not.
Never been?
Never. I wouldn't say I've done either. I'm on that good old just grab a sled and find a little hill. Don't seem to do well with slippery things on my feet.
What about you, Chaz?
I actually enjoy snowboarding, but I'm not very good. So
Not very good, huh?
No.
Hi from Florida, Julie North. Hello.
Hello, Julie.
So yeah, I've been skiing since I was 5. I love skiing, and that's really big in the area, right? I mean, come on, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You guys are sleeping on this. Is a fun thing to do.
I want to learn. It just seems like it hurts a little bit more every time you get that much 1 year older. It feels like it just hurts a little bit more when you fall down. I don't know.
I took my wife out last year. It was her first time ever skiing, and she loved it by the end, but at the beginning she was terrified. She's like, how do you just go down this hill?
Yeah.
And I've had friends that have broken bones their first time snowboarding or skiing.
Wow. Yeah. I went once when I was a kid, and the snow must have felt like it was ice because I just remember just falling in my tailbone, and I swear I could not sit for the
awful.
next 3 months, and I was like, no way am I doing that again. No, that hurt, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what scared me. Probably that experience after that. No, I'm good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun things to do. Skiing's not free, but there are lots of deals. Mount Rose is not far from us. It's about a 30-minute drive, and it's a world-renowned ski resort. Definitely, if you're listening to this and you're interested in doing things in the community, that's a great thing to do. They have things like 2 for Tuesday and all sorts of different price plans too. So it's more affordable to go skiing. So I would definitely suggest that if you're listening to this and interested in trying skiing. Again, it's something in the community that gets you active and out there and a part of it. And I believe Sky Tavern's actually owned by City of Reno, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. So, so Sky Tavern, that's a local one. If you're like, I just want to try it, I want to do something less expensive, and because Mount Rose is more expensive, but it is a world-renowned resort. If you want to do something less expensive and try it, that's a great option too. A lot of more bunny hills and those kinds of things. So, but I love skiing. I suggested everyone. I mean, do it safely, do it smart. Take a lesson or two maybe. But it's something I think everyone should at least try in their life.
For sure.
It's beautiful to be out there skiing down hills. Speaking of outdoor activities and stuff, do you have any outdoor activities you like, Chaz?
Oh man, put me on the spot.
That's what it's all about.
Well, I used to like snowboarding. I wasn't very good at it, and I lived in South Tahoe for a year.
Oh.
And then there was so much snow that I moved back. But I do like playing basketball every now and then.
South Tahoe. Oh my goodness. What'd you do in South Tahoe?
I was actually I was a store manager for the big Radio Shack out there, which crazy enough, it was one of the busiest on the West Coast because everybody would lose their cell phones and have to go buy new cell phones.
Oh! That's funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's funny.
it was good money. It was a lot of fun. So.
Busiest Radio Shack in South Tahoe, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Do you like any outdoor stuff?
Yeah, but but again, word on the street was Chaz was this big football player.
Oh, yeah. He's calling me out because I was horrible at that too. I played some good ball at Dilworth, and I should have stuck with it. I also played soccer for 7 years. I was
Right.
actually on the traveling team.
Oh,
I
very
should have
cool.
stuck with that. I probably could have done
There you
that
go.
in college.
There you
But
go.
I was terrible at sports.
Oh.
I didn't do any sports.
you were probably
well.
pretty good though, right?
I was all right. I was decent. Not didn't play any college ball, but yeah, I love putting the ball in my hand. Just kid growing up in the neighborhood. Right?
Cool.
All the traditional stuff: football, basketball, baseball, that good stuff. But in terms of outdoors, just whenever I could find the time, I just really find just those really easy trails that I could take the kids, and we can just kind of go and take a look at. This past weekend was super cold, but I had family that came out and visited, and we had the opportunity to go out and check out Chickadee Ridge, which is awesome, free,
Did you do it?
gorgeous. Yeah, it was great.
Did you do it? You
You
fed
know, I
them?
didn't do it as my kids, right? You're just waiting for that photo op. But yeah, the kids definitely did it, and they were laughing and they enjoyed it and they
That's
loved
awesome.
it. And the first thing he said as we were walking down is, "Let's come back."
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, whatever I can do to get them out and about, making sure that they don't just watching the screen and doing the screen time kind of thing, is with the gorgeous landscape that we have in the outdoors is awesome. So it's-
Right, and that's the thing. Like, so I'm sure a lot of the people listening to this podcast aren't locals. Maybe majority are. I don't know. Based on demographics and the people that do listen afterwards, there's a good chance that a lot are transplants from other areas, right? Like Northern California or Southern California. I know when I have conversations with people. So sharing things on this podcast like Chickadee Ridge or like the different events happening in the community, I think is really important for the community.
Yeah.
Because if you're new here and you don't know anyone, how do you get to know people?
Right.
Yeah.
You be in the community. It's important.
Yeah.
You have to. And it's I push that almost every single episode. I think it's vital that we are encouraging people to be in the community. Now, not all the time. We all need our times where we sit down and we watch a couple episodes of Loki or something. But sometimes it's good to it's important to be outside.
Yeah.
I think that's one good thing that came out of COVID was people really appreciate the outdoors a lot more. I know I do. Just going for a walk is really nice.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hiking Chickadee Ridge. My wife has always wanted to do that, and we always mean to, and we never do. Never.
You have to now.
It's like
Have to.
they
Get some seeds,
at
show-
Moana
show
Nursery,
some
they
seeds.
they give you seeds for free at Moana Nursery.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they give you. See, look, you were paying
I
for it.
didn't know. His family had it, and they had a big old bag, and
Yeah.
and there were a few guests that showed up that didn't have it, and so we're
Okay.
just
Oh.
hey,
That's
come
awesome.
on over, get some seed, and so
That's
just
cool.
sharing the experience, right?
That's
That's
awesome.
right.
Yeah, no, it's something we always want to do. My wife and I, we did a locals vlog for a while. It was just interesting things to do in Reno. And so it forced us to go and do things all the time.
Very cool.
And so we did events all the time. And what we realized was there is an event every single week in the city.
There's a lot of great things happening in Sparks and Reno.
Reno, Sparks, Tahoe area, there's always
Something to
something
do.
happening.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge music fan, so I love going to concerts, especially free concerts. Supporting local musicians is always important to me. And
Because you used to be in a rock band, right?
I may have been in a rock band at one point. Joanne says snowshoeing is fun. That's a great outdoor activity, and definitely encourage you. Has either of you tried that snowshoeing?
I've not. That's something I'd definitely like to check out this winter if I could. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because that's not like skiing.
Yeah.
You won't fall.
Yeah. Get a little workout into, right? And
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a big
Some
winter, so
exercise.
you might be able to
that'd
try
be
it out
cool.
here.
That'd be cool. I'd love to do it. I'd love to check it out.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. If I'm on the snow, I got to be going down that hill, going down that mountain. That's what I got to be doing. I love that thrill.
Yeah.
I may have told the story already on the podcast once, but when I was skiing one time when I think I was a teenager, I don't know. I started falling down the mountain, and my parents listened to me. I don't know if I've told my parents this story before. Sorry, parents. But I fell halfway down the mountain. I wasn't wearing a helmet. I was on a black diamond called Waterfall, and the medics came and checked on me.
Wow.
And my skis were way up at the top of the mountain.
Wow.
And they're like, you should have broken something or more.
That's scary. Man.
That would be scary.
And but there's been a lot of situations like that. So but I love doing risky stuff. I got an issue.
Get up and do it again, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, do it.
It's fun, man. Have you seen those ski slopes? You can see them from downtown Reno.
Yeah,
They're
scary.
steep.
Yeah. Reason why I don't.
All right, enough of the scary talk for snowboarding and skiing.
Oh, but this is what it's all about, right? The slopes just opened. Julie North says, I loved watching Classy Bird vlogs. Thank you so much. Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun doing that, and we're gonna start it up again. We had a couple videos that had some pretty good popularity on it. So, and it's a fun hobby. You know, you get to film with your wife. I think that's a good thing. So now we're going to get into the community resource this week. Before we get into it, I want to thank you. We just did an event, 2 events with you guys. Yeah. The mobile van here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. We were able to help people in the community get free of charge checkups, and that was really cool to be a part of. Yeah. So thank you so much for partnering with us in that way. But before we get into it, let's hear it. Let's hear what we have for CHA. What is important? How does CHA impacting the community today?
Yeah, and so thank you again for having me here, and I'm glad that we're able to team up and partner. That's what it's all about, right? Absolutely, and that's a shout out to my team. I have an amazing team that they're always watching. How can we be more involved and engaged in our community? But for those that don't know us, Community Health Alliance with CHA is it's an FQHC, and the acronym stands for Federally Qualified Health Center. And so these federally qualified health centers are across the nation. And there's 8 in the state of Nevada, and we're the second largest, and we're only here in Washoe County. By the end of this year, we'll be serving close to 28,000 patients here in Washoe County. At 6 different locations. And the amazing part is that we don't turn anybody away.
So 6 different locations just here in Washoe County?
Just in Washoe.
Oh, my goodness.
That's huge. A lot of folks don't know how large we are and the capacity and how much we serve. And you know, we've somewhat been the secret in the community in many different ways with respect. That's just been word of mouth, right? But we'll be serving 28,000, individuals. So the secret's somewhat out there, but we want to let folks know in the community that we are available, that we're currently have access for patients. So give us a call. Go to our website, chanevada.org. Be a patient of ours, where then you'll be able to benefit from a lot of the wraparound services that we provide for our patients. Some folks will always ask, what type of services do you provide? And we provide primary care. It's like your doctor's office, your family doctor. You go and we'll get you set up with that family doctor. We also have behavioral health. We have dental. We have pharmacies. We also have a food prescription programs, a food pantry that's available for our patients as well.
That's awesome.
And for those that have a hard time getting out of the home or have or don't drive or anything else, we do free pharmacy delivery. And so those are things that are just constantly growing in our community. By about April of May next year, we'll be pushing to probably be 3rd or the 2nd largest primary care provider in Northern Nevada behind, say, Renown. And so a lot of folks don't know how large we are, but we are growing. And it's a great place to be in as an organization, because really the mission of who we are is just to provide quality care and access to that quality care for anybody that needs it. And so we really want to find ourselves in those communities that need us the most. Wells, at our place, we serve the women and children there once a week through a strong partnership with the Washoe County. And so it's, and of course, the multi locations that we go to with our medical mobile unit and our dental mobile unit.
Yeah.
And again, the individuals and my team that works with us is we have full-on dentists, dental hygienists, dental assistants, MDs, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, licensed clinical social workers, pharmacists, dietitian. We also have our WIC offices throughout all of our locations. We're the second largest WIC provider in Northern Nevada behind the health district. And so that's important for us too, that we have that resource available at all of our health centers for our families to make sure that they're eligible on the spot. The only location that's open on Saturdays is our Sunlit Valley location because it's so heavily needed. And so the demand is there, and so we open up on Saturdays for that. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to provide services to not only our community, but personally for me, to communities that I grew up in and that I also served. And so it's that full circle opportunity for me to kind of see and make sure that I see it not as a clinician, but as a patient through those lenses. And that's always first and foremost for me, is making sure that our patients, and they do, receive that quality, respectful, thoughtful care. And I say that we do because I'm a patient, and most importantly to me, my mom's a patient. And so you got to believe in what you provide and make sure that if it's good with moms, is it's good for everyone else, right?
That's
and
right.
so that's something that I very care about, and my governing board, my bosses, really have allowed me to be able to express that vision and to push forward. And so it's been pretty awesome here these last 4 years as the CEO of CHA.
I was gonna say, how did you get involved with CHA? Because I can tell by how you speak with passion about it and the quality and healthcare for all. I saw you were with Senator Jackie Rosen recently, and you always advocate for different marginalized demographics who may be underserved. Where did you get that passion?
I think it was just as a kid growing up here. My mom, she works at the GSR since it was the MGM. She works in banquets. Wow. And my dad, construction, and he retired now. But I've been able and blessed to find myself in positions where I can advocate and also kind of share and advocate for people that usually aren't at the table, right? Sure. And for me, a big one has been healthcare. Healthcare has always been a kind of a very complicated sector that isn't always a lot of folks that very much venture into. Yeah. And it's because it's scary in many different ways. I still have that imposter syndrome, where it's just like. And really speak up, and that really came from the time that I was a kid growing up in the neighborhood, to working at the Boys and Girls Club, to working at Jan Evans Juvenile Facility with kids, to coming back home, and after doing some time working in Detroit, to just saying there's something to be said and making sure that you can speak up for a lot of our marginalized communities. And I don't see much as marginalized. I just see them as they've had some rough times, had some lost opportunities, and because they're working so dang hard, someone's got to be able to speak up for them, right? Because they're probably out there hustling right now.
Right, and that's that's a big conversation we have at Good Shepherd's Closed Closet a lot, right? Yeah. Is we never turn people away if we can help it, right? Yeah. Like we really want to do as much as we can to help the people that walk through our doors, because they took the effort to come all the way down here, right? And to get a jacket when it's closed.
It takes a lot of courage from them to come in here.
Yeah. And my team understands that is when you walk into our health centers, they are clean, they are well kept, they are up to date. And that's important to me because my understanding, a lot of other folks is the healthcare starts is an experience. It starts at the time you pick up the phone, right? It starts at the time when you drive into the parking lot, when you open the door. That all starts to play into what type of care am I going to receive,
Right.
and you start to also doubt if it's not in the best shape because you're kind of going, am I getting lower quality, right?
Right.
And
Because
less
it's
than.
because it's free,
Right,
right?
exactly, and so we don't ever we want people to walk into our facilities and say we don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know that you take Medicaid, Medicare. We don't know what the difference because they shouldn't. They should just know that this is a great place. They treat us with respect,
Bingo.
and quality. And I want to tell my friend and my family, and they'll end up coming as well.
And that's the right. That's the same idea we have here,
Yeah.
and that's why it's a shopping experience for our clients, right?
Yeah.
And we have clients that come in and they check in at the front, right, with the little system we have. It's just some form of ID or a passport or something, clarity cards, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And they can come in, we check them in, and then they're able to get over $200 worth of clothing for free.
Beautiful.
It's a list,
Yeah.
and it goes to about 200. So we've calculated that on average we're giving away over $70,000 worth of clothing every single month. So
At thrift store prices, we don't charge them, but we
Right.
value that 70,000 at
Yeah.
thrift store costs.
right, we value it at thrift store cost because it's something this
Yeah.
is donated by the community.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I mean, if you look out there, it looks like a store.
Oh, it does.
I'm the only paid
Nice,
staff,
man.
and we have the board and do the
Yeah.
so there it's such a movement, right?
That's cool, man. Yeah.
It is such a blessing, and when you're talking about CHA, there's a lot of
Yeah.
similarities that
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out because I think that's so cool that you guys are just keeping it clean. It's about hope and dignity for the people, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they leave and not feel like, oh, I'm less than because I walk in here.
Right.
Should never feel that way, right?
Never. And yeah, we take to heart. I mean, we survey our patients all the time. We by law, what we're required by my board of directors by law is over half of them have to be patients themselves. And so talking about directly hearing from our patients, we're required, right? And I hear it as they're my bosses that I report to every month, saying, are we hearing what's going on? Are we doing as what we're supposed to? And so it's truly an honor. It's truly an honor to continue to serve in the capacity that I am now, and to grow that.
That's what it's all about.
Tremendous, yeah.
So how can the community come to support the mission of CHA?
Visit us. Share the information. Follow us on social media. You'll start to see where the events are taking place if you can't go to one of our health centers.
Sure.
It's a lot of his word of mouth, but just being a champion and also pushing back against any type of stigmas that you hear out there.
There's a lot of stigmas.
And it's that's real, right? And it's about just saying, hey, that's not what it is. It's an amazing place. Come and see us for yourselves. Bring your families. When you're thinking about getting vaccinated, come and see us. We'll take care of you, right? We provide so much care, and you should utilize us as that resource in our community.
I love that you guys have behavioral health because that's such a need right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's huge.
So if you're listening and you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we'll post the link in the show notes as well. If you're on Facebook, on the comments, Community Health Alliance actually tagged their website right there in the comments. So if you want to find out more, definitely visit their website, chanevada.org. That's the place to go to find out all the information. I'm sure events information's on there.
Yep.
And just how to visit a facility if you need a checkup maybe and all sorts of different things, right?
Yeah, I mean, think of us as your family doctor's office, and that's we'll know you by name. We'll know we'll know how to take care of you. One of our former board members, used to come to us when he was just a kid, back when it was Hawk, and he would always share with me just how much has changed from those times to where we are now, and the pride that he has behind that, right?
That's inspirational.
And it's just so when I hear those stories, I always keep that for the first and foremost about just saying how how can we continue to improve and people not see us as their last resort, but their first.
That's awesome. Andrea Pelto, who's the senior advisory chair for the city of Sparks, she said, I use CHA for all of my COVID shots, and they've been great to work with. So that's awesome.
Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. You know, that makes me reflect and to thank our pharmacy team. When the pandemic and COVID hit us, it was amazing to see how small but how mighty our pharmacy team was. We were the third largest COVID provider in the county behind the health district, Renown, and us. To dive into our communities, to raise our hands, to really volunteer and say, how can we be a part of making sure that our community stays healthy and gets back on its feet? And a lot of that was built off of just the trust that we've had in the community, especially with a lot of the communities that just didn't trust the vaccines or anything. They said they'd come to us and ask, is it safe? We took care of them, and that was pretty awesome to see how we're able to get back as a community and get going again.
Cool. So, what if you had to sum up in a short sentence? You don't have to if you don't want to. You could be like, Dave, screw you. If you had to sum up in a short sentence, what's your guys' mission statement? If you had to summarize everything we talked about, what would be the one hitter? What is CHA all about?
CHA is all about providing quality, accessible health care to anybody that would otherwise go without.
That's great. That's really good.
It's powerful.
And we really appreciate having you here. And it seems like some of the viewers know who you are, and we appreciate having you a part of what we're doing and being in the community off Audi, just over here, and just serving this local community. And for just so you know, Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet isn't only for this local community here. Yeah. We serve the larger community. We're partnered with Volunteers America. They have a van that brings up clients from the CARES campus down there up to here, and almost every day we're open. So we serve the larger community every single week. On average, we serve 700 people per month, and that equates to that $70,000. So
it's do tremendous work, man.
Thank you.
Just the worked with so many families and so many different community groups that just the confidence that one has when they have something to wear, right, whether it's clean or not tattered or getting themselves together again, raises that confidence and opportunity for someone to be that much more productive and see themselves in a different light is tremendous. And it takes so many different partners in our community to make that happen. So Absolutely. Thank you for doing all that, doing that service.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And we're all about serving the community. So if you need to find out more about CHA, definitely visit chanevada.org, and please feel free to visit getclothes.org to visit our website. We're Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. We give away a lot of clothing to the people that need it, and our hope is that people leave the store with hope and dignity, that they're able to have a shopping experience where they're able to pick out the clothing that they want and then leave with that. And there's 3 ways you can get involved with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. One is you can volunteer with us. We're always looking for more volunteers. We have over 30 volunteers in our community that serve people week in and week out. And it's not like one-off volunteers. These are people that are here every single week serving people.
Shout out to Joyce. She's been with us for over 15 years and just interviewed on Our Town Reno. Got an article written about her. It was really cool. So we have amazing people.
Yeah. And so the second way you can get involved is financially. We always are looking for financial donations as a nonprofit. We have a 600 to 20 program. But just because we have a 600 to 20 program, we're asking 600 people to donate $20 a month, doesn't mean that you're limited to that $20. You can also give as much or as little as you'd like. We're thankful for every donation that comes through our doors. The third thing is you can give us clothes. All the clothes here in our storefront are all from the community. We give it out for free to those in need.
Awesome. Rob said Joyce rocks. Yes, she does.
So is there anything else you wanted to add before we closed up?
No, just appreciate all of you. Appreciate the viewers. Please follow us on social media. Share all the good info, the good news. Make sure our folks stay healthy.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
We really appreciate you being here. We help 700 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye bye.